Welcome to round two of the Cayuga County COVID-19 Pandemic Small Business Assistance Grant. I am Maureen Reister, the Economic Development Specialist for the Cayuga Economic Development Agency, also known as CEDA. CEDA is a nonprofit economic development organization that serves all private businesses in the county by providing easy access to all the information, incentives, and resources needed to start or grow a business in Cayuga County. The county has contracted with CEDA for support services to deliver this grant program. CEDA will be marketing it and assisting small businesses with the application process. CEDA is responsible for the intake and processing of the applications. However, the awards will be determined by a 5-member award review and selection committee that has been established by Cayuga County. In this video, I'll review the grant program guidelines and explain what is needed for the application process. However, it's the applicant's responsibility to review the full policy guidelines, application requirements, and any other components made part of this program. So let's begin. The Cayuga County COVID-19 Pandemic Small Business Assistance Grant was created to financially assist small businesses within the county that suffered negative economic impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic. The American Rescue Plan Act awarded funds to Cayuga County through the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds. This is the funding that all municipalities received for their federal pandemic relief. On April 26, 2022, the Cayuga County Legislature approved a resolution to allocate $500,000 for a term-limited small business grant program. Late last year, the application round opened and several businesses applied. Of the $500,000, approximately $300,000 was awarded to 37 businesses throughout Cayuga County. With $200,000 of grant funds remaining, the Cayuga County Legislature has approved a second round using the same eligibility, award levels, and grant review criteria as round one. The application will be made available beginning on Monday, May 1st, and will close promptly at 4:00 p.m. on Monday, June 12th. The goal of the county grant program is to assist the maximum number of small businesses in Cayuga County within the resources provided by the county legislature. It is the intent of the Cayuga County Legislature to distribute the funds to small businesses in an objective, equitable, and accountable manner on behalf of the citizens of Cayuga County. The county will award grant funds to eligible small businesses based on submitted applications and qualifications that demonstrate negative financial impacts from the pandemic incurred during the 2-year time period starting on or after January 1st, 2020 until December 31st, 2021. As I just explained, this is the second round of funding, and the total amount of funds remaining in this grant program is $200,000. The amount of money each business can be awarded is up to $10,000. The actual grant amount may be less. It will not exceed the applicant's documented loss in 2021 or 2022, and will also not exceed 25% of the applicant's annual gross receipts. If you have any questions about your eligibility or how much of an award you might be eligible for, please reach out to me via email. Also note the awards will be given in a one-time payment. The county hopes to disperse these funds widely and equitably, so it's possible the county may award less than the maximum amount. In addition, an executed grant agreement between the small business and Cayuga County is required. Let's talk about that grant agreement. Any small business that is awarded a grant will be required to execute a grant agreement, which includes providing an end-of-program report that will contain the following information: how the funds were utilized and expended, how the funds helped the business survive and or grow, and how the awarded funds affected business revenue generation. In order to be considered for a grant, applicants must submit a completed application and all the supporting documents by the due date of 4:00 p.m. on Monday, June 12th. If your business was awarded funding in round one, please do not reapply for round two, as this is the same grant. If you applied in round one and your business was ineligible, applying a second time will not change your eligibility. If you'd like any clarification on this, you may reach out to me using the email countygrant@cayugaeda.org, which will also be provided at the end of this presentation. Now I'll review the eligibility requirements, which are the same as before, but as I already noted, it is the applicant's responsibility to review the full policy guidelines, application requirements, and any other components made part of this grant program. There are several factors to be eligible for this grant. The applicant's business must comply with the following: Your business was established and operating on or before December 31st, 2019, and currently continues as an established and operating business in Cayuga County. Number 2, your business experienced a loss in annual gross receipts greater than or equal to 10% when comparing the 2020 and/or 2021 tax returns to the 2019 tax returns. Number 3, your business is located in Cayuga County and licensed to do business in the state of New York and Cayuga County. Your business must have 25 or fewer employees, including the business owner, and that employee count shall be based on the number of employees as of January 1st, 2020. Your business's annual gross receipts in fiscal year 2019 is less than or equal to $1 million. Your business is not delinquent on any real property taxes or in default on any state, federal, or local taxes. Your business is not delinquent on any loans provided under Cayuga County, the City of Auburn, or CEDA's loan programs. If you need clarification with this section, you may reach out to me and I can help determine your eligibility. Your business is not currently filing or engaged in a bankruptcy proceeding, and your business is not suspended or debarred from the use of federal funds. Continuing on to the next slide, your business is not a franchise unless that franchise is not a subsidiary of a larger corporation and is able to document that it is not a subsidiary. Your business is not a chain unless the majority of the chain locations are within Cayuga County. The business is not a passive real estate business entity, and the business's gross receipts are not passive income, such as a rental. Please also note, nonprofit entities are ineligible. Only for-profit businesses may apply. Your business did not receive greater than or equal to $2,500 from the recent City of Auburn Pandemic Small Business Grant Program. And finally, the business will enter into a grant agreement with Cayuga County that will include, but is not limited to, evidence of expenditures and outcomes through that one-time end of program report. I said it just a few slides ago, but as a reminder, this will include how the awarded funds were utilized and expended, how the awarded funds helped the business survive and/or grow, and finally, how the awarded funds affected business revenue generation. As it always is the case with federal dollars, there are some restrictions on how this grant funding can be used. The awarded businesses may only use the grant funds for mitigating business financial hardship due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Business financial hardships include, but are not limited to, declines in revenues or periods of business closure, supporting payroll and benefit costs or costs to retain or replace employees, business-related mortgage, rent, or utilities costs, and other business operating costs. The following uses of these grant funds are not allowed. You cannot pay off non-business debt, such as personal credit cards for purchases that are not directly associated with a business and business operations. You cannot purchase personal expenses, such as paying off a car loan or making home repairs. You cannot purchase personal items. You cannot purchase food, travel, and entertainment purchases that are not directly associated with the business operations. The funds also cannot be used to pay bonuses to the business owner. You can't deposit grant funds into a pension fund. The funds can't be used to directly service debt that's not directly associated with pandemic losses, satisfy a judgment or settlement, or contribute to a quote-unquote rainy day fund. And recipients may not use federal funds for expenses which have already been reimbursed through another COVID-19 pandemic relief program, such as the Paycheck Protection Program or the EIDL, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. For the program timeline, the application period for this grant program, it opens Monday, May 1st and closes at 4:00 p.m. on the dot on Monday, June 12th. It's the applicant's responsibility to ensure their application is filled out completely and all required supplemental information, such as your tax returns, is submitted. The applicant will get an email confirmation that their application was submitted. If it's a paper application, confirmation will be submitted to the applicant in writing. However, it's the applicant's responsibility to confirm that the application is deemed complete by that June 12th deadline. Please note, as stated in the program guidelines, the county reserves the right to accept or reject all or any part of an application and award the applications based on the intent of County Resolution 182-22. This was the legislation that authorized and established this grant program. The fastest and easiest way to apply for this grant is by applying online. The grant application is found on CEDA's website at cayugaeda.org/county grant. It is strongly recommended that applicants apply online through CEDA's website. This is the most efficient way to ensure an accurate and timely submission of your application. But for those who need to submit a paper application, it can be downloaded and printed from CEDA's website, or hard copies are available at various public offices around the county, including the county office building located at 160 Genesee Street in Auburn, or your local town or village office will have copies as well. Please note that even paper applications are due by 4 p.m. on Monday, June 12, to the CEDA office located at 2 State Street in downtown Auburn. Any questions or clarifications must be submitted through the program's email account, which is countygrant@cayugaeda.org. Unfortunately, CEDA cannot answer questions by any other method. No information, instruction, or advice provided verbally or informally by any person, whether Cayuga County, CEDA staff, or county elected officials, will be considered authoritative or binding. Any commonly asked questions and answers will be compiled and posted on our website under the Frequently Asked Questions section for all applicants to view. After CEDA has processed all the applications, the information will be forwarded to that 5-member award committee, which has been established by the Cayuga County Legislature. Without knowing the names of the businesses, the committee will review all the applications. Their evaluation process will use, but will not be limited to, the following criteria. The business will have demonstrated negative economic impact or harm due to the pandemic during the assessment period, which was 2020 and 2021. They will evaluate the amount of requested grant funds relative to each business's documented economic harm or loss, and with consideration to the demographic distribution of awards throughout the county, because remember, it is the county's intention to distribute these funds widely and equitably. The funds that are awarded will be made as direct grants to the small business as determined and authorized by the county's 5-member award selection committee. As stated in the policy guidelines, payments of authorized grant funds shall be made within 30 days of the receipt, review, and approval of an executed grant agreement. It also states in the policy guidelines that grant recipients may be required to enroll in ACH or direct wire transfer for disbursement of these funds, and Cayuga County reserves the right to exercise some flexibility for payment terms on a case-by-case basis, which will be finalized during contract review and execution. I can say for round 1, payments were made in the form of a check and they were mailed to the business. Now I'll review the information that will be needed for your grant application. Most of this information can be found on your business tax returns, and you will need those tax returns to submit with your application. So you will need to fill out the legal name of your business, which should match what is on your tax returns. If your business operates under a different name with a DBA, which is doing business as, you'll put that down in another field. You'll need the date your business was established or the date incorporated, which can be found at the top of your tax returns. You'll also need to think back to how many employees you had on January 1st, 2020. The application asks for the number of full-time equivalent employees. So if you have 1 full-time employee and 2 part-time employees, you would enter 2. In New York State, part-time employment is anything less than 30 to 40 hours per week. If you are a sole proprietor or a single member LLC and do not have any employees, you would enter 0. You'll also need to provide a brief business description. This is not an explanation of how the pandemic has affected your business, just simply what are the goods or services your business provides and any other important information that describes how your business operates. The application will require you to upload your business tax returns for fiscal years 2019, 2020, and 2021. Please note that applicants are eligible if they began operations on or before December 31st, 2019. Therefore, it is possible that some applicants may not have a 2019 tax return. So those applicants would simply check the box that confirms they did not have tax returns for fiscal year 19. The application asks for the gross receipts reported on each year of your tax return. This information is usually found on line 1 of most returns. To prepare for this application, make sure you have a copy of your business tax returns in PDF format. It's not necessary to submit your entire personal tax return. We're just looking for the portion that relates to your business. The forms you should look for would be a 1040 Schedule C for a sole proprietorship, an 1120 or 1120-S for a corporation or S corp, or a 1065 for a partnership. Another question is whether your business received any funding from other COVID relief programs. The Payroll Protection Program had both first and second draws available. Simply add up both of those forgivable loan amounts and enter them into the application. Please also indicate whether those loans have been forgiven or not. Another federal relief program was the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, otherwise known as EIDL. This was not a forgivable loan. However, there were some advances, which were essentially grants. Those were called the EIDL Advance, the Targeted EIDL Advance, and Supplemental EIDL Advance. The total amount of these 3 advances could have been up to $15,000. The application is only asking whether you received an EIDL loan, so if you have a loan, put that amount into the application. In addition to those federal programs, if a business has already received more than $2,500 from the City of Auburn's CSLFRF Small Business Support Program, they are ineligible to apply for this grant program. Also, if the business received any other local, state, or federal COVID-19 grants, there is another place to enter those with a description of which one it was. This is also where you can enter the amount of those EIDL advances, because those are essentially grants. Obviously, a new question on the application for round 2 is whether or not your business was already awarded funding in round 1. So, if you did receive an award in round 1, please do not reapply. You have already received your grant, and reapplying will not result in a second grant award. Additionally, there are 2 other submission requirements for round 2. Applicants must upload a color copy of a government-issued photo identification. This could be your driver's license or a passport. For the driver's license, you must include the front and back of your license. The other required submission is proof of business operations. This could be something like your business certificate, that document you received when you filed your DBA at the county clerk's office, a certificate of incorporation, a lease agreement, a recent utility bill showing the name of the business and the business location, a property tax bill for your business, a copy of some kind of business permit or license. If you have any questions about what type of documentation will be accepted, please don't hesitate to reach out to me for clarification. Also on the application, you'll need to certify that your business is currently operating and intends to continue operating. And with that, I have reviewed all the information required for the grant application. I just want to summarize some of the important aspects of this grant program. The 5-member award selection committee will use the business's tax returns from 2019 as a baseline for assessing the economic losses incurred in 2020 and 2021. You must have a 10% loss in gross revenues in order to be eligible. Well, 10% or more, obviously. And as a reminder, the county grant funds can cover negative economic impacts documented by the small business from January 1st, 2020 until December 31st, 2021. It is the applicant's responsibility to document their negative economic impact and, if awarded, execute a grant agreement, which requires that end of program report to explain how the awarded funds were utilized and expended, how the awarded funds helped the business survive and or grow, and how the awarded funds affected business revenue generation. And finally, if you need any assistance at all with the application, please feel free to reach out to me, Maureen Reister, in writing by emailing countygrant@cayugaeda.org. And remember, the best way to submit an application is by applying online at cayugaeda.org/county grant. If you need help, please don't hesitate to send me an email. And finally, to stay informed about this grant program and other resources to help start or grow your business in Cayuga County, you can subscribe and follow CEDA on all the various social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I also suggest you subscribe to CETA's email list by clicking the button on the homepage of our website. It's right there at the top and center and says subscribe to our newsletter. CETA's mission is to foster a sustainable quality of life through business retention, expansion, and attraction. We do this by connecting entrepreneurs and business owners to the various local, regional, state, and federal resource programs. And the best part is that our services are free and confidential. So thank you for your time today, and please get your applications in as soon as possible. Enjoy your day.